Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Turning Tides, a pirate-themed action selection game for 2 players by Never Be Boardgames. Please keep in mind that this is a prototype copy, and as such, components are not of their final quality, and anything contained herein is subject to change. In Turning Tides, 2 players will take on the roles of opposing pirate crews, one player commanding the private, and the other will take control of El Bueno. Players will simultaneously select actions, with captains trying to outwit one another as the ships make passes on each other, with play continuing either until one player has no crew on deck, or one ship sinks by taking 3 cannon shots to its deck. At the start of each game, you'll position the 2 ships so that their bows have just crossed, with the parts of the deck numbered 1 directly across from one another. Each player will take a hierarchy card to remind them of the order in which cards are resolved, and also takes the weight card into their hand. They'll then place their masts, their captain, 2 sailors, and 1 cannon like so. You'll notice that the gold and silver players have slightly different setups. To balance things out, the gold player starts the game with the initiative token, which I'll explain in a little bit. Each player then looks through their deck and removes 2 fire, 1 swing, and 1 sailor card, placing them face up near their remaining figures to form their hold. They'll shuffle the other 7 cards they have to form their deck, and then they're ready to begin. To start each turn, players will draw 1 card from their deck and add it to their hand. If there are no cards remaining in their deck, they simply play with what's already in their hand. After that, each player chooses 1 card and places it face down. Once both have chosen, they simultaneously reveal their cards and resolve them in accordance with the hierarchy reference, resolving lower numbers first. If both cards have the same spot on the hierarchy list, then the player with the initiative token resolves their action first and then gives the initiative token to their opponent. In the number 1 spot, we can see the sailor and cannon cards. If the sailor card is played, you'll play a sailor from your hold and place it on any space on your ship that has not been destroyed. The cannon card works similarly, allowing you to place a cannon, though unlike sailors, you also have to choose which side of the ship it'll be placed on. In the number 2 spot are move and navigate. When you play the move card, you choose 1 figure on your deck. This can include your captain, a sailor, or a cannon. If you choose your captain or a sailor, you simply move them to any other non-destroyed spot on your deck. If you choose to move a cannon, you may either move it to any zone on the same side of the ship, or you may move it to the opposite side of the ship while keeping it in the same zone. When you play the navigate card, you have 3 options. You may move the ships 1 space in either direction, or you may take the initiative token if your opponent currently has it. Number 3 on the hierarchy is the swing card. When you swing, you choose 1 sailor, but not your captain, and with it can defeat 1 crew directly across from them on the opposing ship. You can defeat a captain like this, but only if there are no sailors in the same zone. And finally, number 4 on the hierarchy is the fire card. Swinging from the ropes is all well and good, but it's nothing compared to a good cannon blast. In order to fire a cannon, you must have a sailor, again, not your captain, in the same zone as it, and it fires at the enemy zone directly across from it. When it fires, one of 3 things happens. If the enemy mast is in that space, the mast is removed and nothing else happens. If there's no mast, but enemy figures are present, then all enemy figures, captain, sailors, and cannons, in that zone are removed and placed in the player's hold. If there are no figures present in the space, then you place a skull marker to show that zone has been destroyed. Keep in mind that firing on a zone that's already been destroyed has no further effect. You can't have 2 skull markers on the same space. In addition to the aforementioned action cards, it's also important to take note of the weight card and the promote action. If a player has no captain on deck, then the next time they play any card other than weight, it is treated as a promote action instead of having its usual effect. This is treated as the lowest action on the hierarchy, happening after any other action your opponent may take. When this happens, you simply remove 1 sailor on deck and replace it with your captain figure, allowing them to take command of the rest of their crew. Finally, you have the weight card. With this, you do nothing for your turn, but unlike other cards, it is not discarded and immediately returns to your hand. Once ships have passed one another, that signals the end of the round. Before starting a new round, players take Lee actions. First, if players have any cards in their hand other than their weight card, they have the option of swapping them out with cards in their hold. The hold will always have exactly 4 cards, meaning that any they take will have to be replaced with those from their hand. After they make their choice, they put the new cards into their discard pile. After that, if a ship has taken damage, a player must exhaust cards. To do so, they take a number of cards from their discard equal to the damage they've taken and place them face down near their hold. They may swap which cards are exhausted between each round, and unlike cards swapped from their hold, their opponent will not know what cards have been exhausted. Once both players have finished their lead actions, they'll reshuffle their discard piles to form their decks and come about. Both ships rotating 180 degrees and once again orienting their bows so that they're aligned with Zone 1 touching once more. They'll then begin the next round, with play continuing until one of two end conditions are met. If a player has no more crew on deck, or if 3 zones of a single ship are destroyed, then the opposing player wins immediately. I don't normally comment on component quality for prototypes, as they don't really reflect the quality of the final product. However, even as a prototype, I must say it looks quite impressive. For such a small game, it has a lot of table presence, and the way the ships move around makes for a very visually unique game. Though at the same time, said movement is a bit of an issue. No matter how carefully you move the ships, eventually you're going to bump some of those figures around, and that's always going to be annoying. All in all, Turning Tides is an enjoyable little game. It's quick and fierce, yet light enough that just about anyone can learn how to play it, and since it takes less than half an hour to play, you can fit it in even when you don't have much time. The simultaneous action selection gives a lot of room for bluffing, while swapping your cards in between rounds allows you to adjust your strategy to match your playstyle and the situation that you're in. Often this gives you the opportunity to be more aggressive in future rounds if you set yourself up in earlier ones. As aforementioned, the sliding boards does mean that pieces tend to get knocked around from time to time, but the visuals more than make up for it. As this is a prototype copy, I'll not be giving Turning Tides a formal review score at this time. What I can say is that it has been a joy to play through. If you want to give Turning Tides a go yourself, the creators currently have a mod available on Tabletop Simulator for you to try out. I've always been supportive of game designers that are confident enough to put their full game on display this way, so be sure to click the link in the description if that piques your interest. Turning Tides is currently available on Kickstarter. If you're interested in backing, playing the Tabletop Simulator mod, or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Turning Tides? What quick 2-player games do you enjoy? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.